Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is going to be a new video series, and this is the first video in this series. And in this video series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the story behind the photograph. Recently I did an art show, and I found that a lot of people were very interested and really engaged when I was telling them about how the photograph came to be. And I thought, what a fantastic idea to create a video series centered around these photographs. And so that way you can hear the story, I can share the story with you, and you can understand how I got the shot, where I was, if I was by myself or if I was with somebody, and kind of really show you how meaningful that image is, at least to me, and how special that I feel like it really is. So for this first video, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tell you the story behind this photograph. So this photograph is actually what I call the Tree of Mystery. And this particular photograph has a very interesting story. I had a lot of photographs that I could have gone through for this very first video, but this honestly is probably one of my favorites, if not maybe my favorite photo that I've ever taken. It's won some awards, it's placed in several competitions, and honestly, I almost don't even care about that. I'm just thrilled about the photo. You know, I feel like this is what photography was meant to be. As you can see, a lot of people actually think it's not a photograph at first. They think it's maybe a drawing. But it is a real photograph that I took at the Grand Canyon in February of 2017. Now, on that trip, I had actually never been to the Grand Canyon before, even though I only live about 3.5, 4 hours away from it for most of my life. And so I decided to take my then girlfriend, now my wife, on a trip to the Grand Canyon and to the Antelope Canyons, also in Page, Arizona. And on this trip, on the second day of the Grand Canyon, we went to a place called Hermit's Rest, which is on the western edge of the southern rim. And there's a few hiking trails out through there. And in February, of course, there's still a lot of snow on the ground, so some of these trails are hard to get through or almost really inaccessible. And we happened to be walking down one of these hiking trails, and up on the hill, I happened to see this tree. And it was a beautiful scene, and it had all this snow underneath of it and these beautiful rocks, and it was lit really nice, really something spectacular, really, and something just perfect for taking a photograph. And so, I took a few photos here, trying to encompass the snow and, and the scene and the rocks and the light and everything, and I couldn't get it. I was getting frustrated. I knew there was a shot there, but I wasn't capturing it the way that I was envisioning it. And I walked away. I took maybe 20 photos, different angles, different compositions, and just didn't really like any of them. And I walked away. And we get about, I don't know, maybe a few minutes away from that spot. And I look at Janet and I tell her, I'm going back. I know there's a shot there. I just didn't see it. Maybe if I go back and re-look at it, I'll find it. So I walk back, and by that time, the clouds that you see in the image had actually populated behind the tree. And I thought, wow, now this is amazing. Maybe if I cut all the snow and all that other stuff out and just shrink the composition to encompass the tree and the clouds behind the tree as the background, and almost like it's floating there, maybe that would be a fantastic composition. And so I frame it and get it to where I want it and line it up so it's straight and snap the picture. I look at it and I was like, yes, that was it. One shot, and I knew it. And what I knew more importantly above anything else is when I looked at that shot, I knew one thing for sure, that when I went to go edit it, it was going to be a black and white. I knew it couldn't be anything else. I knew that for some reason, and as a photographer, sometimes you just get those feelings about certain images. And I just knew, like, this needs to be a black and white. And so when we got home from that trip, that was really the first photo I worked on. And when I sat it on the computer desk, you know, I went through, I adjusted a little bit of the highlights, some of the shadows to get the tree, you know, the image balanced exactly looking the way that I wanted it to, and then flipped to black and white, and there it was. So I hope you love the story behind this photo. I hope you enjoy it. I had, you know, an amazing time taking it and actually being there in February at the Grand Canyon, and just seeing the Grand Canyon in general, but just seeing this one isolated piece of the Grand Canyon that probably most people would have walked by, you know, and to see it in its light and its composition and its beauty, you know, I feel like that's what really photography is about, and really creating, you know, something that's artful. So again, I hope you enjoy the photo. If you want more information about the photograph, you can check out my website. I'll put a link in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. See ya.